G'day friends, Andy here. Today I'm going to edit a photo that I took of a bridal wedding dress parade at a wedding expo. The raw file looks like this, and the finished image will look like... Okay, having a look down the bottom here, you can see some photos that I took of the models at the wedding expo, and I like this shot, but it doesn't pop enough for me. So what can we do to make our model pop here from the background, which is a bland colour, and a lot of it's almost as in focus as our model here. Well, I might pull down the exposure a little bit. And what can I do with the highlights? If I brought the highlights down, you get a little more detail in that dress, but today I'll bring it up. And you'll see what happens in the end. That looks like a lot. It is a lot. But I'll bring the shadows down so we can darken the background shadows a little. Already our bride's popping a little more. Now our whites, to get our white point, hitting the Alt key and going up. Okay, don't want to blow it out too much. Maybe bring it down a tad. The blacks to grab a black point, and we already have black points in there, so that's good. Now, as you all know, I love the dehaze, so even when things aren't hazy, and our dehaze is at 0, it looks like that. If we bring it up, yeah, we've got a little more professional look, and I can see that there's not much detail in the dress there. Maybe I've done the highlights a little too high. Some detail there. That looks good. Maybe the bride's face could be a little brighter. And I'll do that that way. Okay, so looking at our background, we have a very bland brown curtain. Magenta lights up here, which might be highlighted. And we could actually, if we change the color of the curtain and added some highlights, and maybe the color of the stage, maybe we could make our model pop a little more. So what I've done, I've selected a brush, made it a size, and I'm going to color in the curtain first of all, and then I'll do some highlights, and then I'll do the stage. So with the brush, I'll start off actually just with a bit of exposure and a bit of color. So we're painting with blue at the moment, so that looks a certain way. That's not what I had in mind. I want it to be bluer. So we can tone it down later, of course. But this is what we're doing for now. We don't want it to go on to our bride. So perhaps we feather this. Feather it a lot. And we don't want it to go onto our audience either. So it's just a simple painting procedure. And I'll speed up the video and I'll come back when I've done a bit more painting. Okay, so we've roughly painted our background there. Now we'll add some highlights to the roof there by getting a new adjustment brush. Bring up the magenta and just painting where the highlights already are and see how that looks. So there, there, and we'll come back and refine this in a minute. Now I'll select a new brush and paint a bit of the stage. And the blue and magenta color scheme seems to be working for me. So I'll select a new brush. It's colored, it's also magenta there. And we have our auto mask on, so hopefully it just color up the stage a little. And we don't have our density to 100%. It will color in patches, which is possibly not always the easiest or best way of doing it. Now, if I pull that exposure down on that one, how does that look? Good, because we don't really want to highlight the stage. And dehaze colors areas. Well, that is not exactly what I had in mind. But of course, so does saturation. So how does that look? And now, as always, I'll deselect my brush and I'll do my before and after. And really what I'm looking for is the photo better? And I seem to think that that looks a little better than that. So I'm happy with that. Of course, it was just a quick job. There's some blue in her hair over there, which you might remove. But generally speaking, that has made our model pop a little more. It brings attention to her dress a little more, because in the before there was less detail in the dress, and in a wedding dress you want some detail. Could possibly bring it down a little more for a little more detail, but we've got to balance how much her face pops as well. And there you go. Thanks for that. Hope you enjoyed it.